Mike here, and welcome to Underground Video Network Behind the Counter. Time for the obligatory Best of 2012 show. Stay tuned. Mike here, and welcome to, like everybody else has to have, we have to have it too, the Best of 2012 episode. We're going to try to make sure we get this out before December 21st, just in case.
Yeah, you just never know.
Mayans.
You know, and then he puts this explosion that happens or whatever. I don't know.
I'm fine as long as I don't see John Cusack. Run!
Jeez.
No, 2012, great year. I know we say that every year, but it really was a good year for nerddom in general.
A lot of things has happened.
Oh yeah. Rich, you want to start us off? What was your some of your picks for 2012?
Well, it was the return of Archer and Armstrong.
Yeah.
The series is great. I mean, I love the original series, but the new series just picks up on its own. I mean, it's its own entity, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to read the originals. It has nothing to do with the originals.
Right.
They just basically relaunched, and it's just great. It's sort of like the guys in the Immortal have been around forever. The other guy was trained to kill him, and then they decided to team up. And now their adventures is starting to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. Artwork is great, and I'd highly recommend it this year. And now, on to Mike.
One of my picks for 2012 was the the ID Publishing book Smoke and Mirrors. It was a fascinating book. It was written by Mike Costa. Artist was Ryan Brown, and unlike a lot of other books, they actually credit the world famous sleight of hand artist John Armstrong. The book centers around a magician named Terry Wards, who just one day, poof, ends up in a world where magic is the norm. It's as common as technology. Actually, magic is their technology. Everything's powered by magic. Their versions of the iPhones, everything like that. And it's his interaction in that world where you have this sleight of hand magician in a world that's all magic, and nobody can understand how he's doing what he's doing, because, you know, it's like, you use magic, I know you're using magic because it's everyday stuff, but wait a minute, how did he do that? There was no charms, there was no spells. That is blowing my mind. It was a fascinating book. It was part of a five arc series. Fantastic. Not only was the story itself great, but at the end of each book was an article by John Armstrong telling about a certain trick that was done in the issue, along with some history of sleight of hand magicians. It was a fascinating read. Smoke and Mirrors. It's in trade right now. Go check it out. Peanut, you got anything for?
That almost was educational right there, because of the, you know, behind magic, sleight of hand and stuff thing.
Well, the more you know, and knowing is half the battle.
That was a good part of that book, though.
That was fantastic. And normally, you know, I'm one of the attention deficit people. You know, it's like, oh, so many words, no picture. I read it. I loved it. It truly was fascinating. And they're all in the trade, so go check it out.
Definitely.
I was actually going to go into movies for the year, basically.
Hey, man.
Geez.
Best of 2012.
Jeez. We'll start off at the beginning. You know, everybody's already seen Avengers about 2 or 3 times.
2012. We can't not talk about the Avengers.
And take a 2-minute break if you're just tired of hearing it, and you see that you got your Blu-ray DVD collection of it right now, and so you know, it's actually almost sad, because I don't know if you can get better from this $1 billion making.
It's set the bar pretty
over
damn
whatever,
high.
you know. So it's like, I don't mind if Avengers 2 only makes like 300 or 400 million. I forgive it if it does, because it's hard to live up to those.
Hey, as long as
standards.
Josh Whedon is behind it, you got me sold already.
Yeah.
We can admit that movie was great crossover.
Oh yes, fantastic.
Mainstream crossover.
Yes.
That's what I was mean, you know. And then besides bringing everybody together, you know, that was just it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 2012.
He did. 2012. He did the impossible. That was one of the most impossible things. You know, we really.
Oh yeah.
You know, we really thought it wasn't going to come together, and if it would have fell apart, I think none of us would have been surprised if it fell apart, because it's like, what do you do with all this?
I really hate to say it like this, but I really think the comic book industry's movies kind of hinged on that movie, because it was like, even with the success of Batman and all the other ones, something of that scale that if it didn't pull it off, I think a lot of studios would have went, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
But luckily,
Yeah.
not only did it exceeded expectations across the board. So
You know, so just kind of tying in with the comics where they were trying to do an epic thing. Well, they did do an epic thing with the Avengers X-Men crossover, which was kind of awkward because it was like, it would have been nice if an X-Men type-ish movie was out as well to
Right.
really get the comic readers in.
That's in a few more years.
Yeah. So, I was just saying, now I'm switching to comics. I don't know, Xavier's death was kind of...
that was one of the big
that
moments of
was,
2012.
Definitely.
So...
But
I don't know. It's just the way they did it.
It's the way it was kind of still cheap. I mean,
it was
Cyclops, you know, it was like.
It was downplayed
It's
for
like
the
Cyclops on
But
PMS.
I know what they were trying to go with. They were trying to go with that Greek mythology.
Yes.
Father, you know, the son killing the father
Okay,
style.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
So-
I know that he's not his real son, but
I liked
It was as close to a father as he ever had.
Correct.
Aside from outside the Starjammers.
the powers, or the powers coming back, the establishing the mutants back again from the whole
Right.
No More Mutants. I did like that. It was kind of like,
Yes.
I wouldn't know what to write to bring that back, so I did like that, you know, the Phoenix thing out of this. We're going to get new titles. We're going to get there's, I don't know how many mutants are back. I don't know if there's new
ones popping up.
Okay, so with that, you know, we'll go into that in another episode in the new 2013.
The Marvel
we're
Now.
12 right now.
The Marvel
yeah, the
Now.
Marvel Now. Sorry.
that'll be first next year.
Yeah. The other movie was obviously the Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, still fantastic. What a way to end a trilogy. That
I don't know how
What,
many times I've watched it. That one I think I've watched more than I watched Avengers, just because you had to catch little hints
Yeah.
and things. Like, you know, I was the only one that like cheesed when they talked about Killer Croc.
yeah.
You know, like my friends went like this, like, huh? Like what? The alligators and the no, dude, like I'm a geek. And I'm just like
They finally, with that one, they finally realized that they, not only did they try to aim mainstream to bring the comic book fans, but other fans in. With those little nods here and there, they really did acknowledge the fans.
I personally,
the people who read the comic books. It's like, hey,
I like
that one's for you
I like
guys.
the way they did his version of a Robin because everybody has a okay. Who would you say is the definite is Robin? Which one? Jason Todd, you know.
Oh,
Greg.
it's always Dick Grayson.
Okay,
Dick Grayson.
okay. So with that being said, you know, I think he did something funny which we hate in comics. He did what's the word called? Combination of two. Yeah, I know. See, I did the same
Amalgamation.
thing.
That's that big word,
Amalgamation
amalgamation.
of Robin was this movie.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
So,
it
you
was
know-
hard to cram that much mythology between, like you said, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim, even Damien into one
One
movie.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like,
At least it wasn't Batman and Robin.
yeah.
Holy, where's the Island? Island.
See,
God,
there
just-
was the apocalypse right there of this episode. Was him mentioning Batman and Robin.
And that's something I would like to thank the people behind the Dark Knight trilogy was the lack of bad nipples. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
From here, thank you for that.
And thank you for proving Anne Hathaway pulled off probably. Am I going to say she was the best Catwoman? Am I going to say
Not
that?
as long as Eartha Kitt walks.
Oh, okay, all right. I just okay. All right, that's an
Of
episode.
our
That's an episode
just
for
say
another time.
of
but-
your generation.
hey, but she for this movie, she was perfect.
She
for this
pulled it
movie.
off.
She did.
Yeah.
She
Everybody
pulled it
was
off.
nervous, you know. She was more that,
She was pretty.
yeah. But
She was
but
pretty and she was skinny, could fit in the costume. That's what we all thought, but she really did. She
Yeah.
pulled it off.
She acted, even the acting. was
She could
good.
do a high kick, that's for sure.
Damn right.
Well, we knew that since. Never mind. Anyway,
Rich, you got anything else
Yeah.
for
Yeah, yeah.
2012?
Yeah.
Please.
Moving over from the Avengers, there was a video game came out. It was a actual
okay.
pinball machine. The Avengers, and there was like four machines. Started out with three, then you could get a fourth one later. The first one was basically the Avengers movie. You could play, and the play on these. I want to say the boards, machines, whatever you want to say, felt like playing a real pinball machine. And I was really amazed they could pull this off because, it's video game. I've played some old video game pinball.
Right.
They felt
Yeah.
video game-ish. This actually felt like playing because of the added, the shock motion,
rumble, yeah.
the rumble with the Xbox was just, because I bought it off the Xbox Live, downloaded it, played it, and then I bought the expansion, and the Hulk World one was phenomenal. I blew that one away. I scored like 148 million points
Not to
one
brag or
night,
anything.
But it was just the
Gonna take
play
a
was so
screen cap
cool,
picture
and you
and
could
put
do
right here,
you could
actual
do like and then
XAF.
inverse stuff, and then they had the Infinity Gauntlet scenario, and then the Fear itself machine was, they had that because they actually had the Red Skull's daughter comes out with the
Hammer,
hammer stuff,
yeah.
and that was neat about this too because they can actually make it into like characters on the site, Hulk versus Iron Man, the one machine, or other stuff that would happen, and like I said, these were just great machines, I can play, and it just felt like playing a pinball machine.
Yeah.
And I'm from the pinball era. I love playing
here, right.
pinball. So this is a great, if you love old pinball machines, go and play these games. And there's some other ones available that I haven't even tried yet. So
Cool. Keep along with video game theme if you don't mind. My pick game for 2012, anybody who watches the show knows I am a gigantic UVN, and finally 2012 was the year I finally got to play a Doctor Who game. Available as a download on the PlayStation Store was Doctor Who, The Eternity Clock. I get online and I've been seeing that there was games of Doctor Who for years, but most of them were, British imports that, imports, they don't work on our systems, but this was the first game I got to play, and for a download, it was incredible. They used mocap on both Matt Smith
Oh, wow.
and Alex Kingston. They used both of their voices, so it looked and felt like them. It was a great side-scroller. The graphics were phenomenal in it. If you get a chance, that's my pick for 2012 was the Doctor Who and the Eternity Clock, available on the PlayStation Store.
That'll work. I don't know. I've been doing old school gaming, so I can't bring a 2012 new game that really. I didn't have a chance to really think this one through. All right.
oh well.
No,
That's
no,
okay.
I was just like, I could sit here and think forever. What was really the best game I played this year?
Well,
as far
knocking
as-
Spider-Man over.
No, I'm gonna let them two. I'm with them. Those are the games you should play for 2012.
Okay, moving back to comics.
yeah.
Comics.
I want to wrap up. My third favorite of the year was actually an Archie comics. It was the New Crusaders.
Yeah.
This is wild. This is sort of under the radar because I'm not hearing much about this. What they did is they took the original Crusaders and basically killed most of them. but they had sons and daughters, so the Shield was still around. I mean, he's old, he's gray, he's got the thing. So he takes the kids in and is forming a new Crusaders. They're on the 4th issue now, and they're just now starting to get their powers. There's the new web, there's the fire guy and all this, and it's really cool because if you don't know these characters from the old, from the 60s or even older, these are totally new to kids.
Yeah.
So this is an easy pickup, easy read. You don't have to know the full background because they're bringing you up to speed. Sorry about that, folks.
That was the droid they were looking for.
I know. I was powering down. Like,
But like I said, this is a great jumping on point. The art is not kiddish, but it's not, it's simple, it's clean, it's really
Right.
good to the point. The inking, the colors in it is great too, and I'm not much of an Archie buyer, but I'm glad that Archie took their characters back. Because
Yeah.
we had to run with DC, which wasn't bad, and then you had some other ones that tried to do runs with these same characters. But I think this is a neat new way approach to these characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds cool.
One other pick for me this year was Image Comics Saga, however you want to pronounce it, Saga. Oh, man, honestly, God, if any one comic series this year blew me out of the water, it was this one. I remember right before it first came out, the guys at the comic book store we frequent often here at Alter Egos, they were telling me about it, and they said they're hyping it up as Star Wars meets Star Trek meets this meets that and meets Romeo and Juliet. And I went, that sounds whoa. All right, you had me at Star Wars, or Romeo and Juliet. It's like, oh yeah, it's fantastic, and it didn't disappoint. It tells a story of man and a woman, Fiona and Marco, who come from two separate races who are at constant war with each other, almost like the Montagues and Capulets.
Oh, wow.
You know, and their plans have been at war for years, and these two find each other, they fall in love, they have a child who, as the book progresses, you know, they're escaping the war. People are chasing them because, oh my God, they found out that they had a baby, and we can't have this, you know. But what's interesting is the story takes place just after the baby's birth, but it almost has a flashback feel to it because most of the narration throughout the book is from the baby's point of view.
Oh, wow.
And it's a science fiction comic book at its best. It has that science fiction feel to it, you know, the spaceships, the laser guns, but it also has that fantasy feel. There's magic, there's monsters, and it also has that really kind of almost, I hate to tie it in like this, but Doctor Who feel where it's got that fairy tale feel to it too, where there's these creatures and magic and mysticism, and it was a beautiful story. Other pick for me was Saga, Image Comic Books. Again, the trade should be out by now. Definitely want to pick that one up.
That's good. Well, like I said, it's been a great year. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, that was the year.
You know, we got Marvel now launching.
Yes.
We got a bunch of number ones. You know, I don't want to downgrade that.
Right.
And we started the second year of the 52 from DC.
Going strong.
And they've
Still
been
love it.
changing things up,
Yep.
which is kind of nice. They really shuffle stuff around.
Introduce some new books.
Books that weren't selling.
Yeah.
They
It's
got-
being accepted.
Yeah.
You know.
Although, Booster Gold.
Yeah, I know.
I miss you. I want 2013 better be the years of Booster Gold. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, well, they got that new threshold that
Yes.
maybe, you know, but did you see what they're doing with Captain Carrot?
Yeah. Captain.
DC, that's not right.
Seriously, you take away my Booster Gold book and you promise me a Captain Carrot book.
This is how I
But
feel
that
about
Captain Carrot is like trying to be Rocket Raccoon.
That's yes. Brilliant. That is
doesn't-
exactly.
Don't go there. Captain Carrot is
back.
not Rocket
No,
Raccoon.
Exactly. That is perfect.
Captain
It's like-
Carrot is a cartoon character.
Yes.
I mean, make it as a cartoon character, not as a vigilante should be long in the Dark Knight. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, no. Sorry, DC.
it was written by Christopher Nolan.
I'm the carrot. I'm not the carrot that Gotham wants. I am the carrot that Gotham needs.
Well, it's been a fun year. We had a bunch of fun at conventions this year too.
Oh,
we don't
God,
want to
yes.
not mention the conventions. We went everywhere. We went from Detroit.
Yes.
Pina got to go with us. I ran up to Akron. We went everywhere.
Got a chance to go down to Cincinnati. That was my first time going down to Cincinnati. Won't be the last time I go down to Cincinnati.
and we got a little lost footage from that show, which
Yep.
we're going to present.
Mike here for Underground Video Network. One of the things we love most about coming to cons like this one here in Cincinnati Comic Expo is not only running into fans or people that we know. We got a chance to, see Dirk Manning, Tom Zoller, Chuck Moore. One of the things that we love most about doing this show is running into new people, meeting new people, because honestly, when you come to a convention like this, you have absolutely no idea who you're going to run into and who you're going to meet. Hi.
Oh, wow. You have no idea.
Help you? Fan?
You say that?
No. Oh, no. Brilliant. See, that's the very thing about this. You never know who you're going to meet, and look, I'm going to have hair. I'm going to have hair someday. I can't imagine today getting any weirder.
You have no idea how weird today is going to get.
Fantastic.
Alonzi.
Geronimo!
And we're back.
Okay. So we had fun down there. Everything. Next year, we started already posting the lineup for next year.
Yes.
Go to our main website. Go to the comic and events page. Remember, if you're having a comic book convention in and around Ohio and you want to be listed, go ahead and shoot me an email or whichever, and we'll have it posted up there. We're hoping to get around next year to a lot more shows.
Oh yeah, we'd love to come. If you're planning on hosting something, man, let us know. We would love to come down.
And even if it's just an in-store event, we would love to come on
Yes.
down the store, because we've actually done a little spin-off series on our Facebook page, UVN Spotlight. So if you have a comic that you're creating yourself, this is for more independent creators, or
Right.
or even comic stores and stuff. Eventually, we want to add that. We'd like to spotlight you on
New
that
comic
segment,
stores opening up.
and it
Get
can
us-
only be found on our Facebook page.
Right. Speaking of things that we spotlighted in 2012 that were new for 2012 was check out the UVN Facebook page, Mike's Cosplay Corner. Richard's finally decided, you know what, you've been talking to so many people, it's time to just collect it all together. And it's the accumulation. We're starting, yes.
Right
It's
now.
been a fantastic start. A lot of people, I'm proud to say a lot of people who have seen the page.
Thank
Seen
you.
that, it's legitimate, it's not just Mike trying to talk to cosplay girl, we're showing that it's, a legitimate
And
craft.
have you already set up a few interviews for next
I
year?
have, and there's a couple that I haven't even mentioned to Richard that I have set up for 2013 that
Okay.
I'm very excited about.
Question
So
mark.
yeah, the other highlight for me 2012 was the formation of Mike's Cosplay Corner. Check it out. And if you know somebody, the other thing too you're going to notice, and I have to mention this, is because if you look at this, it's like, oh, seriously, Mike, it's all girls. Yeah, we know it, dude. If you know a guy, they're out there. I want to talk to
This is
everybody.
what's sounding. I was just like, I'm
not
trying to keep
gonna
a
lie, I
straight
wanna
face
talk
the
to
entire time. And I'm sitting there like, this is not going to sound
I've tried.
good.
You know what, guys? I know you're watching this. Guys are harder to approach than it is the women. The women are more than excited about going out.
I was gonna say,
yes, I put this
the
much time
men-
into it, but the guys are like, yeah, whatever.
There's creativity.
I'm good.
The women are they're not just because they're females and women that are doing it. They're having fun with it.
Yes.
They're being creative with it in ways like, wow, you really tried to make yourself look like this character.
Exactly.
And guys, we're failing. We're supposed to, where's the okay? Except the guy that was in the Iron Man suit.
Yeah, that
no,
was-
he didn't fail. That was like an epic. Like, holy, what?
He's from up in, I think, the Detroit area. Wasn't he? Yeah.
But no, the big request is if you are somebody or you know somebody that you think deserves a little time in the spotlight, shoot me an email through the UVN Facebook page. Let me know. I will go after them. Man,
Well, he
woman,
won't
I don't
chase
care.
them, right? But he will go.
And plus, we even launched the panel room this year
Yes.
too. We've been going around different conventions filming some panels, and this year we recorded quite a bit of panels. At Cincinnati Comic Expo, we recorded a bunch of panels, and then we had Dirk Manning from up in Detroit,
That was very
and
good.
then
That was a fantastic panel.
Education. Look, one of the 2012 panels to watch. That would be one of the panels.
Not only does he tell you how to write, he shows you how to host a panel. That was fantastic. Loved it.
And one that hasn't been posted yet coming up is the Joe Kerbert panel from the Cincinnati Comic Expo, which has a bunch of comic creators from his first class. Definitely check that out once this gets posted later on this next couple weeks.
So, and wrap up, we're hoping, like we said at the beginning of the show, to get this up before December 21st. Hoping you're watching this. In case something does happen, we want to thank you for another fantastic year. And more than likely, nothing's going to happen, so we'll see you in 2013.
We'll just go out and restart the Mayan calendar.
Oh, man, we didn't look at the back? Flip the stone tablet over. Oh, man, we got 4 more years.
Everybody have a happy holidays.
Have a happy holiday.
Take care.